back. We are on day 9. Can you believe it? We are on day 9 and we have an awesome topic to talk about today. So remember, continue to share the video, invite other ladies. They can tune in, they can go all the way back, or they could join right on in as we make our way to day 15. So we've talked about friendships and relationships on yesterday, and we're going to go right into our next topic. So ladies, our topic for today is I can do bad all by myself. We heard that song so many times. I know we have. I can do bad all by myself. Yes, you can do bad, not in a good way, bad all by yourself. So ladies, let's jump right on in and get to talking about what does that mean. Listen, you can't do this walk by yourself. The journey that you're trying to go on, where you're trying to go to, you can't do it by yourself. And a lot of times we get that mentality like, listen, like Beyonce said, me, myself, and I, it's all I got. But listen, if you have a sisterhood behind you, if you have a person that can hold you accountable to where you're trying to get to, listen, it makes the journey much easier. But there's a lot that goes into that. My mother raised me to be very independent. It was good and it was bad at the same time, because it taught me to be solid. It taught me, like, listen, go after your dreams, do what you have to do, don't depend on anybody. If you want it to happen, you got to make it happen. But it wasn't good at the same time, because it didn't allow me to build trust with anybody. When I first got married, I came off of my job. I was a stay-at-home wife. I wasn't a mom at that time. I was a stay-at-home wife, and that took a lot, because now I'm trusted in my husband to come in and pay the bills, to take care of me, to feed me. And my mom always taught me, like, listen, no matter what, you make sure you have something to the side just in case something happens. But God had to take me through a season where, listen, I had to depend on somebody, and God knows that, you know, the way he worked that situation, I needed it, because he moved and our connection got even stronger. Because if I had that mentality like, yeah, my husband is there, but at the end of the day, if he walks away, I got me. And that's a lot of times we have that mentality like, listen, you know what? I love you, but if you walk away, I got me. And we should not have that. That shows that there's some trust issues on the inside of you and some things that you have to work on. But not only that, ladies, who is holding you accountable? All my single ladies, even my ladies that are trying to grow in God, that's trying to reach their dreams, trying to stay focused, who is holding you accountable? A lot of times we fall into things because, you know what? Because we wanted to, and we had nobody to talk to. We didn't have that real friend that I talked about on yesterday. That real friend that's going to tell you, listen, girl, what you're doing is wrong. That's not the right path you should be going down. That he ain't no good for you. Oh, that's a big one. So we had to make sure that we have an accountability partner, because even the times where, you know, temptation comes, but having that person next to you saying, listen, sis, you can do it. You don't have to give in. You know, you can keep going. It makes the journey so much easier. There were some things as a woman growing spiritually that I had to do by myself, because I didn't have other women around me that can pour into me, that can give me strength, and I had to learn on my own. And that's why I tell women a lot of times, like, listen, it's harder because you're trying to do it by yourself. You can't do this by yourself. The Bible says when 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, so much more can happen when we come together on one accord, when we come together in unity. I use this example all the time. It's like, you know, when I go grocery shopping, and I have all the groceries in the car, and my husband is on the inside, you know, laying there watching TV. But instead of me calling out for help, I struggle, and I'm trying to get all these bags, trying to make one trip, instead of saying, you know what? I can't do this by myself. It would be much more easier. It would be less tiring if I just called and asked my husband, hey, babe, come out here and help me with these groceries. It's a lot. I can't. It's heavy. And 10 times out of 10, he's going to tell me, listen, go in the house. I bring it. And sometimes we have, when it comes to your sisters and having that accountability process, you know what? Let me pray for you. I got you this time. I know the tears are flowing. I know it's frustrating, but I got you. Do we have that? Do we find ourselves being trustworthy? Can we be accountable to somebody else? So a lot of times we don't want to have an accountability partner because on the inside, we really want to do it. We don't want nobody to tell us you ain't supposed to do that. We don't want nobody to tell us you was wrong, because it's an inward desire. But when we're trying to move forward, we need that listening ear. We need that tough love sometimes. We need that correction that we don't want to hear. You know, we need to hear what pastor is saying. Like, you know, even if you have to go to your pastor, you know, talk to them. Let them know, like, listen, this is what I'm trying to do, and I need somebody to hold me accountable. I have young ladies that reach out to me on a weekly basis saying, listen, Lady K, I just want to talk to you just so you can check up on me. It gives me confirmation. It gives me more strength knowing that, listen, my first lady, she's, you know, she's with me, and I can push forward, and I don't have to call. Like, when she calls me, I know it's gonna be the good conversation because I know that I held myself accountable. Now she can give me the next step to move forward towards my dream, to me evolving in Christ and evolving into my identity and purpose. Ladies, but that's my question is, do we really want it? Do you really want what you're asking for, what you've been praying for? You know, to whom much is given, much is required. We know we say it because we see the perfect picture and we see what it takes to get there, but are we willing to put in the work? It's the same way with eating right and working out. Like, listen, I see the picture. I want to look good and I want to put the nice clothes on, but I don't want to put in the work. I don't want to hold myself accountable. I don't want to discipline myself to reach that goal. And that's the same thing it is spiritually. Disciplining yourself to achieve the goal that you're trying to push towards to. You have ministry assignments, you have purpose, you have destiny, you have things that you need to do, but we don't want to do what it takes. Well, what does it take? It takes a life of sacrifice. It takes a life of prayer. It takes a life of fasting. It takes a life of getting in your word, building that relationship with God and understanding him and figuring out, like, listen, God, it's not about me, but it's about you. So I'm laying down everything to the side and I'm taking on your will. That's a lot. But, you know, a lot of times we'll say it, but if we don't voice it, you know what, if it doesn't happen, it's okay. If I don't say it out loud, if I don't tell a person, you know, I'm trying to lose weight, or if I don't tell a person, like, listen, you know what, I'm trying to get my life together spiritually and grow up. If I don't tell them that, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't really seem like a failure. But guess what? It is a failure because on the inside, you know what you're supposed to be doing. You know where your spirit man is supposed to be, but you're not doing it. You're not putting in the work. And the enemy can use that against you because you don't have nobody pushing you and holding you accountable. So now he can bring on the tax and it really won't make a big of a difference because you ain't told nobody. Ain't nobody see my fall. Ain't nobody see where I'm trying to go because I ain't told nobody. But ladies, you have to have a person, a lady around you, you know, that is trustworthy, that if you tell them your darkest secrets or what you're going through, that they're not going to go off and run, because that person has to be qualified to be your accountability partner. Yes, qualified. They can't just be anybody, but where are they going? What does their life portray? What have they achieved? What is their success rate? Where are they going? You have to look at that. So your accountability partner, it should not be somebody that's doing worse than you, but it should be somebody that's greater or that's pushing forward nonstop, that they're pressing towards their mark, they're pressing towards their goal, pressing towards their destiny, and understand, like, listen, I know what it takes. I done shed the tears. I done been frustrated. I done been hurt, but let me tell you how I conquered it. Let me tell you how I overcame, and through that, you both can succeed, and it will be so much easier than you trying to carry the weight by yourself. And trusting God. And even sometimes in some situations we have to trust God and give it over to him. And that's what I talked about in the previous video. We hand it over, but we pick it back up. We hand it over, but we pick it back up. But now it's time to hand it over and accept the help that God has given us, to accept the connections that he has, to the people that he has connected us to. So ladies, I challenge you on today, get that partner, figure out who it is, let them know, like, listen, sis, I need you in my life because this is where I'm trying to go, and I need somebody to help me get there because I understand that I can't do this by myself, and that it would be much easier if I had the strength of my sisters next to me, pushing me, and I can get there faster, I can get there more healthier, and it would be more of a joyful experience, and then instead of a drag and a pain, like, you know, when people say, oh my gosh, being a Christian is so hard. No, it's not. It's what you put in it. It's who you're surrounded by. It's what you're listening to. And most of all, it's your desires. So ladies, I challenge you on today. Get you an accountability partner, and I promise you, you will see the change in your life. So ladies, thank you for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow for day 10. We're almost there, ladies. We're almost there. So I will see you tomorrow.